It's a part of the city that many were too frightened to visit. I wanted to go to a township, not for the thrills, but because so many South Africans live in one. So I found someone to take me to Mitchell's Plain. Emile YX was a member of a group called Black Noise, one of South Africa's top hip-hop bands, and has been involved with the breakdance and graffiti scene since the 1980s. I suddenly felt transported back to the 80s myself. Wasn't breakdancing a little old-fashioned? But this wouldn't be the last time that popular culture in Cape Town struck me as dated. The media was heavily censored under apartheid, and many things that you and I may take for granted, people here weren't allowed to see until 1994.
Whatever. All right. Thanks.
Black Noise was very active on a community level, and one of its projects was giving breakdance workshops to kids in the townships. We were going out to Mitchell's Plain, a colored township on the dusty flats, far away from my hotel room, and notorious for its violence.
At some stage in your life, run for some activity like gang violence or something that has taken place, and especially in Mitchell's Plain. But I mean, it's funny enough, like a lot of people have considered it almost like normal, and that's sad, but that's the reality.
This is one of the many achievements of the Group Areas Act. Despite its appearance, we were going not to a prison, but to a community center. Here's the story as I understood it. If you lived in central Cape Town in 1952 and weren't white, you were forced to leave. If you were black, you were sent to a homeland. If you were colored, a vague term referring basically to people of Asian descent, you had no homeland in South Africa. But because the majority of the people in the area were colored, the National Party declared the Western Cape a colored preference area, and new townships were built to house this community. Meanwhile, many black people saw the homelands for what they were, pathetic, unproductive patches of land, and decided to run the risk of returning to the Cape. With no homes to go back to, black shanty towns appeared near the colored townships. The black community resented the special treatment colored people were getting, and this, in broad terms, has resulted in today's gang warfare. These kids are now growing up in the crime capital of the world. Life on the Cape Flats is rough, but because of people like Emile, Mitchell's Plain isn't only crime and misery, but a place where ordinary people live who do ordinary things like having a good time. Baldy wasn't taking any chances. Despite the fact that he'd been shot a number of times, he was convinced that his firearm was a better deterrent than breakdancing.
This is not a very happy community, right? I mean, do I see that correctly, or...?
Well, there's a lot of gangsterism happening, a lot of, like, shady things like that. But if you do something that's positive and kids follow, that's a good thing.
Right.
It's just important that people over here achieve something successful with their lives. And if we can do it, then they can do it as well.
Yeah.